Hey everyone, March J8 here, bringing you guys a Monday recap the events from last week. Let's get started. Overwatch has finally introduced their 25th character, and it has been one that's been talked about since the early days of this game, and that is Doomfist. Let's talk about him. For starters, he's unfortunately not voiced by Terry Crews, who has been rumored to voice the character for months now. He did, however, get an animated short in the form of an anime stylization featuring the battle that's talked about in the Fight for the Future cinematic trailer that was released all the way back in 2014, which, now that I think about it, it kind of acts as a prologue to this short. We also got a new developer update letting us know what class Doomfist is going to be in, along with his abilities. He is an offensive character with 250 health, but that's in PTR right now, so that might change. He also has several abilities that, in theory, makes him a decent addition to dive builds and to players that like to flank. So for his primary fire, he has a 4-shot shotgun that's mounted to each one of his knuckles. For his alternative fire, he has the ability called Rocket Punch that charges up, and when you release it, it lunges Doomfist forward. What's cool about it is that the longer you hold it, the farther you go, and the more powerful the strike is if it impacts an enemy. Another cool feature to it is that you can go right through shields like Reinhardt's, and if you hit somebody against the wall, it does even more damage. The next ability in Doomfist's roster is called Rising Uppercut, which of course is an uppercut that sends both Doomfist and the enemy he impacts it with into the air, which can then be comboed with Doomfist's next ability called Seismic Slam, which gives a character a ridicule while they're airborne, and it can be used to impact the ground that brings enemies closer. As if that wasn't enough, he also has a passive ability called Best in Defense, which gives Doomfist a temporary shield whenever he punches enemies. And finally, we have his ultimate ability, Meteor Strike, which when it's used, it launches Doomfist super high into the air and allows the player to pick a location on the map where Doomfist will then crash into. Once the location is picked, Doomfist superhero lands, creating a massive impact radius, which I would say is about the size of Mei's ult, that stuns and knocks down enemies in that radius, if not killing them. Alright, so we've gone over the abilities. What are my personal thoughts on him? I like that they finally included him into the game and they gave him some abilities that are pretty interesting. But I can't help but feel like they played it safe here. I'm not really a fan of the fact that we got another offensive class character instead of a defense class, which has gotten no new characters since the launch. And I feel like they went a similar route on some of the abilities as they did with Orisa, where instead of taking risk and creating these new dynamic abilities that were unique to that particular character, like say Ana or Sombra, and then working with the community to really iron that character out, they instead opted to borrowing other character abilities. They took Reaper's updated Reaping ability and turned it into shields instead of health, and they added abilities that function very similar to Reinhardt's charge ability and his ult. Now, do I think that makes Doomfist a bad character? Not at all. I'm actually pretty curious to see how he plays out, and from what I've seen so far, he actually looks pretty fun. But I'd like to know what you guys think about him. Leave a comment down below, and if you guys want to check out the videos, including the Origins video, those will be down below as well. Moving on, we got a new Monster Hunter's World gameplay trailer that's uncut, and it looks awesome. These kind of games have always intrigued me. I've just never had the opportunity to pick any of them up, so I'm thinking about picking this one up. John Blackwell Jr., a well-known drummer who spent 15 years being a part of Prince's band, The New Power Generation, along with various other gigs, including collaborations with Patti LaBelle, Justin Timberlake, and D'Angelo, has sadly passed away at the age of 43 on July 4th. Back in 2016, he was diagnosed with a brain tumor that was affecting his left arm and leg, which then led to him seeking out rehabilitation at Tampa General Hospital's Rehabilitation Center. His wife was by his side when he passed away and shared the moment with social media. If you guys would like to learn more, as always, links can be found below. Last week, some of the members of Neck Deep were actually caught up in a pretty scary situation. Now, this time, not a lot of details have been revealed so far, but according to their bassist, Phil Thorpe Evans, the band members were caught up in a police lockdown after someone was actually fatally shot right outside the bar that they were in. All the band members are okay, but still, that's some pretty messed up shit right there. Census Fail has confirmed they have begun recording their new album with Beau Burchell of Say Ocean. Varials has announced that they have signed to Fearless Records and have announced that they will be releasing their debut album, Pain Again, which is set to be released on August 11th. They have also released a new music video for their song, Anything to Numb, which you can check out below in the new music video section. Devildriver has announced they are heading on a new U.S. tour this fall with support from 36 Crazy Fist, Kane Hill, and Uncured. Dates released, and Every Time I Die has announced a new tour with Comeback Kid, a new Euro tour, might I add, with support from Knock Loose and Higher Power. dates released, any of the dates mentioned above, you can find those all down below. And now it's time for new music of the week. We have Silverstein, Whiplash, Lakeshore, Pure Imagination, The Rocket Summer, Gone Too Long, Milk Teeth, Hibernate, Decapitated, One-Eyed Nation. And for new music videos, we have the All-American Rejects, Sweat, the All-American Rejects, Close Your Eyes. That's actually one music video with 2 songs in it, so be aware of that. In Hearts Awake, Nomad, World War Me, That's So Yesterday, Varials, Anything to Numb, Oasis, Talk Tonight, Liam Gallagher, Chinatown, Vegas Nerve, Promise Me the World. Be sure to check out all of those down below. Thank you all for joining me for this episode. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, dislike if you didn't, subscribe if you want more, and I will see you all on the next one. Mars out.